Hello and welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Um, Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome. Today I am going to show you progress on my project. I know I haven't posted I think in a couple weeks, but life and my work. It's first. Hopefully one day I can make more space for this channel and give you more pointers, teach you know the the beginners more about 3D. That's my goal, is to teach for free for those who wanted to pursue this career path. Anyways, if you like what you're seeing, subscribe, click the notification bell, like, comment, tell people about it. So yeah, let's get to it. So now what I'm doing right now, so every time I open my scene, I see everything, right? And so I just want to work in this corner. So what I did is I selected everything, all the components and all the objects that I'm working with. And then I just do a shortcut where I insulate the objects that I want to work with. I just go and press Control+1. That's gonna insulate the objects that I want to work with, and so I can focus on those UVs. Because right now I'm UVing, which I'm wrapping the objects that eventually I'm gonna take to Substance Painter to texture, and so that is a time-consuming process. There's different ways to do it, different ways to go about it, but you just gotta be patient, really, to UV and to unwrap. As you can see, I'm using multiple UV spaces because I don't not worry about render times right now. I mean, I keep it in mind, but I want to have as much resolution as I can in this project, so I'm not too worried about that right now, especially because I'm not building an environment for a game, right? This is gonna be pre-render, so I wanna make sure that every object has a good amount of resolution so details can be shown. And here, I'm just keep working insulating the corner of this environment so I can keep working on it. And yeah, I'll let you go and watch what I do. Yeah, as you can see here, I have several items already packed in here, and so yeah, let's go ahead and I'll let you watch. And when I see something that of importance, I'll stop and explain what I'm doing.
Close to your heart, all of the pressure's gonna drive you crazy. Close your eyes to the madness. In the morning, it's all gonna vanish. Don't be afraid of the dark. Be careful with stars. Not every light is gonna guide you. Don't be afraid, don't be afraid.
Since I blew up, everybody telling me that I'm the man. Same people gave me the finger, they reaching out for me to give a hand. In a different city and my pills came, cause this tour don't happen, I feel pain. And the girl with me say she down for life, but she don't even know what's my real name. Just try to get what she came for, and ain't nothing I got safe though. Cause when the money go wild, everybody get a piece, but it's looking like I ain't on the payroll. Got a big house made out of Play-Doh, and a plastic crown for my halo. But still a long way from my tank low, cause my Tesla charged for them bank rolls, and I'm grinding.
All right, so I'm stopping it right here because I want to talk about setting up your scene. So I know there's a lot of artists out there that would, when they're in the blockout station, meaning when they're just figuring it out where things are going to go, where things are going to fit, they usually fill their scenes with their objects, right? They put, let's say, plates, bottles, all these kind of things everywhere, just to see how things are going to work. And I used to do that too as well, but after making a lot of environments and a lot of projects, working in a lot of projects, I work, I figure and I discovered that I work better if I either at the blockout station I do a very quick, dirty unwrap of the UVs, or like in this scene is actually the first time I build the whole scene in the blockout, just the main items, and then all the supporting objects or models, I model them once. I didn't duplicate them. I didn't put them on shelf. I didn't put the plates on shelves. I didn't put the food on the skillets. I didn't do any of that. So what I did, I've created all these objects, and now that these objects, I've gone from block out to the final version of the model. I'm wrapping, and also now I'm filling in the scene. So now that everything is unwrapped and everything is modeled correctly, I've gone ahead and I'm gonna start putting things where they belong. As you can see right now, I'm gonna fill out this cup full of chopsticks, right? And you'll see I'll do the same with the plates and the to-go containers, because I'm done modeling and I'm done UVing. So far it's working for me. I know some other artists, like I said, may want to do a block out the entire environment and see how it looks first before they actually start unwrapping. I believe that was taking a lot of time, a lot of my time. Now, if it keeps working for me the way it has been, I'm going to probably just do it that way, where I do the main models, I block them out, I set them up, but then the supporting models or the details or the plates or the small models, I will model them aside and completely, and then when I'm ready to fill them up, when I'm ready to unwrap the whole scene, then I'll go ahead and start duplicating and filling in my scene. Just want to give you a advice. So when you are UVing and unwrapping UVs, one way to avoid burnt out is for me, to switch it up, right? If you're recognizing that you're making mistakes, you're getting bored, I don't know, you are restless, you can't keep on your seat, you've been unwrapping UVs for a long time now, I'll suggest switching it up. I suggest UV something else, like I'm doing right here. And by doing that, I discover some issues with this UV unwrap here with this model, which then it switches my mind, right? I'm not so focused on keep UV in that plate or that one model. Now my mind goes, oh, there's an issue here, let's figure it out. It wakes you up a little bit. But if that doesn't do it for you, take a break, go outside, stretch, drink some water, make some coffee, walk away. Because if you start making mistakes and you notice you make mistakes because you're tired of UVing, you will keep making mistakes and you will get frustrated and you just get behind. So for all my newies out there and not so new people doing 3D stuff, 3D art, take a break. It's okay. I know sometimes we just want to grind, and there's space for that, because sometimes you have to grind and you'll get used to that. But there's sometimes, even when you're grinding, that you need a break. Otherwise, your work will just suffer. All right.
So many speak on the bottom and never know the feel, or how it looks at the top, or if it's even real. We ain't selling dreams, but we live in some. No arms license and still we stick to our guns.
so here I'm gonna stop it right here because I was finding quite some mistakes on the UVs. I had done like a dirty quick UV unwrapping of the buildings and the street, but you know, I added some geometry here and there. I moved some stuff around, so now I'm just kind of fixing that. And like I said, it's giving me a different perspective of my project. I'm working on something else. I'm not just working on that corner. I think at this point I might have been done with the unwrapping of everything on the corner that I was working on, and I just need to fill in the plates and everything. So I was taking a break on that. So yeah, and at the same time when I'm working and fixing this UV layout, I'm also already you know, going and filling out other UV spaces. Like I will be using the V2 now, so we'll go a step up, right, from what I've been working, if that makes sense to you guys. So if you look at the graph, the first one is U1V1 space, and then I used, I want to say, about 7 going from left to right. I'm packing those UVs. Now I'm gonna use the V2, the step above it, you know, the space above it. I'm sorry, I can't find my words today. To then start packing up from left to right, and that way, sometimes I may go from all the way to 10 because there's 10 spaces horizontally. There's 10 spaces from left to right. This time around, I don't want to use 10. I might use 10. I don't know. But the point is that I am using a different space. So I started to do that. I'm fixing, but I'm also packing a new UV space to keep not just fixing. I'm not just fixing, but also moving forward on the project. All right, let's pause it here real quick. So this is another example how to change your mind, right? I was so tired of using UVs that I needed a change. So I started working on naming. You know, I started cleaning up my scene a little more. It's pretty messy. So I started out with naming cables. I think after this, you know, I will name them, and what I do, I go, let's say, cable underscore 01, and then from there the same, I just change to 02, 03, 04, blah 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 blah, right? And at the end, when I'm done naming all the cables, I'm gonna select them all, and then I'm gonna make a group. I'm gonna group them all, Control G to group it, and I'm gonna call that group, of course, cable GRP underscore GRP. Cable underscore GRP, you know, that's the group. And so that's gonna clean out my outline. And while I do that too, though, what I do, I go to modified. So I freeze and transformation and center the pivot. Those are the two things that I do there. Center of the pivot will be that I want the pivot point to be in the middle of the model. In this case, the cable, not on the middle of the scene of the world, not off to the side. I want it in the middle of the object. And so then a freeze transformation that's going to make all my scale, transform, and rotate information on the layer editor into the zero space, or to either reset it to zero. So meaning, like, if I move the cable by mistake, let's say to the left or right, up or down, I can go to translate and just select everything, put 0 and then enter, and it will put it back into its original place. So that's very useful when you do that. Also, I go to edit and delete by type, delete all by type history. So I want to make sure the history is clean. I'm not going to model it anymore. The next step after, I do all the unwrapping is to smooth. So when you're unwrapping, you also are making sure that your model and your UVs unwrap will look good after you smooth it. How do you do that? You unwrap, you press 3, that's your preview for smooth. So you don't have to smooth it and unsmooth it. So you can just hit 3 for a preview, how it's gonna look like. So yeah, that's what I do. That's what I'm gonna keep working on other items here. So very important to remember, when you're done with your model, rename your model, group it if there's multiples, freeze transformation, center pivot, and delete the history. All right, let's keep working. All right, so I'll stop. This will be the last stop of the video. So here I'm back doing my UVs. I'm back to UVing, after taking a break. I feel good about it. And now, though, like everything is UV, I'm just making sure that if I can take a little extra space on some items, I'm going to, because I don't like wasting space, and especially when you find yourself with this small large amount of small objects, you may find yourself like you gotta adjust some UVs so you can take advantage and take as much space as you need, and that's fine. We used to do textures using Photoshop, so we were more restricted on how to move UVs, and so you had to really worry about how they're gonna look from the beginning. I mean, you still have to be very aware, but you're more flexible, with flexibility doing this kind of adjustments, because we have softwares like Substance Painter that are non-destructive texture programs. We don't have to take a snapshot of the UVs and then take that into Photoshop and then put it back into Maya, see how it looks. And it used to be that you were able to see that seam so clearly before. I mean, there was tools you can use in Photoshop to not make it so visible, but not with Substance Painter. That all goes away for the most part. You also have Mari that you can use, powerful tools. I really do believe that Substance Painter eventually is going to take over every industry, just because of the power of the non-destructive workflows. And also the price tag, really, for anybody is so affordable. And if you're in school, you can get it, I believe you can get a year for free. But anyways, I mean, still, if you don't get it for free, all the programs are so much more expensive, and Photoshop doesn't do it anymore. So that's what I'm doing here. The rest of the video, I'll play it for you. I'm fixing my UVs. You'll see in some of the clips that I'm gonna put in here is when I'm already I'm filling in the scene, at least this corner. So yeah, please, comment. You have any questions about 3D, let me know. I'll answer to the best of my abilities. And also, I'll post another video. I don't know if this week, next week, on 2 weeks, but the next video will, of course, be a progress of what I'm doing, most likely of the other corner, right? Because I'm working in bunches here to not burn myself out and to actually keep moving this project forward. Thank you for watching. Take care. See you later. Bye bye.
Don't be afraid of the dark. Be careful with stars. Not every light is gonna guide you, baby. Don't let them rain on your spark. Keep it close to your heart. All of the pressure's gonna drive you crazy. Close your eyes to the madness. In the morning, it's all gonna vanish. Don't be afraid of the dark. Be careful with stars. Not every light is gonna guide you. Not every light is gonna guide you.
Yeah, when I blow up, I'ma soar high like Peter Pan. In real life, be living out my dreams. If I'm waking up, it's in a foreign land. Whole wrist covered up in ice. Dealership, never ask the price. I hit the molly ball with my dogs. Yeah, I swipe it once without thinking twice. Cause this what I was made for. Man, I know this what I came for. On a big stage, couple thousand people, and they do whatever I say so. Have chicks hair color of the rainbow. Yeah, chains on me like Django. Be a long way from my tank low. Cause my Tesla charge for them bank rolls. And I'm grinding, money on my mind, and I'm headed to the top. I won't stop until I find it. Write my name in diamonds, but all these lights are blinding. I wonder, is it worth it? Feel like I'm losing